Hey guys, so today I'm going to be showing you how to replace the thumbsticks on your PS Vita. These can go bad. It's a 10-year-old console, and sometimes you can get drift, which kind of looks like this, as you can see up here. It can be pretty tough in games, having that delay and not having the accuracy when you have drift. So today I'm going to be showing you how to replace the thumbsticks. It's really easy. You only need like one type of screwdriver, and you're good to go. But yeah, I'm gonna show you how to do that, and hopefully it's pretty easy to follow. So yeah, let's get started. Alright, so now that we have a little space cleared out, I just put this so it's easier to see screws. We're gonna need a screwdriver, Phillips head. It's a pretty small point one too. Not sure if it's gonna focus, but yeah, we're gonna need one of these, as well as something to pry with. I'm gonna be using a flathead screwdriver tip that I will swap out. You're also gonna need your PS Vita, and lastly, you're gonna need your replacement thumbstick module. I found mine on eBay for pretty cheap. One thing you gotta be careful for is knockoffs of these. You want to get the OEM versions, which I was able to find. I'll leave a link to that seller down below. But to get started, there is 4 screws on the back of the Vita. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to go ahead and unscrew those really quick. So I'll go ahead and speed this section up. Okay, so now that those 4 screws on the back are done, we're going to go ahead and open this top part. Go ahead and remove your cartridge or whatever you have in there, and we'll go ahead and set this aside for now. But you'll notice here, if I can zoom in a little bit, there is a little tiny screw right there. So we're going to go ahead and get that out now. And yeah, this will be smaller than the other screws, so you're going to want to put this aside separately. But yeah, just unscrew that top screw, and then we'll go ahead and set that there. And the last screws that we need are these 2 screws by the charge port, so I'll go ahead and grab those out as well. Alright, so now that all the screws are out of our Vita, you're going to want to go ahead and grab your prying tools. So in my case, it is this little flathead screwdriver tip. And I'll try to position this better so it's not so dark. That's probably good. But yeah, there's a really like thin line area which you can kind of like sort of pry up the plastic a little bit. Just be careful. Be careful too, because down here there is a little ribbon cable that's pretty easy to snap, and it's for the back touchpad. So you want to be careful about that as well. But yeah, you just gotta kind of carefully pry around the edges. So I'm gonna fast forward that. Alright, so now we have the back pried open. One thing that is also useful is a pair of tweezers. Yeah, you want to be very careful about taking this back plate off, because there is a little hidden ribbon cable right there that you can see. So I'll go ahead and zoom into this to show how it disconnects. Here, let's see how close I can get there. Alright, that's as far as I can zoom in. Here, let me position this a little bit better. Alright, so there's a little bracket here. You're going to want to flip that little piece up, and it will release the ribbon cable. So this is the touchpad and the speaker module. So you're going to go ahead and put this back like to the side. And now we're at the main internals. So for my case, I need to replace, oh whoops, the little buttons fell out. Here, let's get those back in. For my case, I need to replace the right side. So to do that, it's the same for both sides. But you're going to go ahead and find these screws and ribbon cables. And so what I like to do is I like to disconnect the ribbon cables first. So same thing as last time, you just lift up these little pieces and you can take the little ribbon cable, slides right out. Same with this one. You just pick the little part up and then you can kind of wiggle it out with your tweezers. And same with this one, which is the smallest. So you got to be kind of careful with these. But there we go. So now there is a couple tiny little screws, one up here at the top and one kind of down here in the middle. So we're going to go ahead and unscrew both of those. Alright, so now there might be a couple pieces of plastic right here. You can lift that up and then also lift this piece up and it will release the little chip board thingy here. And now you can see the actual thumbstick module. There's one more screw we have to remove. So we'll just unscrew this. And then take the screw out because we're going to need that to mount it. But yeah, here's your thumbstick module right here. We're going to go ahead and put this to the side. This is the one with the drift. And then we can go ahead and grab our new module, which we have right here. We're going to go ahead and drop it into place like so. And then take the screw we removed from the old one and we can line it up carefully. I'm going to position this on the actual screwdriver tip like so. But yeah, we put this here and just screw this into place. Make sure it's fairly tight, like that. And now that we have that, what we do next is grab the little computer board right here, and we just gently place this back like so. Make sure it lines up. And if you have trouble lining it up, you can kind of eyeball the screws or the screw holes. It should line up like so. It's kind of tricky sometimes. Okay, there we go. Now it's in place. So now, alright guys, I am back. Sorry, my camera overheated. But yeah, now what we want to do is this little board, we're going to go ahead and take these screws and just screw it back into place so it's not sliding around while we get the ribbon cables back. So I find it's easiest to hold it up at a slight angle, just that way, because the thumbstick, when it presses down on your table, it will push the board back up, which isn't fun to deal with. But yeah, so we just go ahead and screw these in. It's kind of tricky to align the screws sometimes. Helps a lot having a magnetic screwdriver. But yeah, now that that is in, button fell. But yeah, now what we got to do is we have to put the ribbon cables back in. So I'm going to start out with this one, which is the analog stick. You're going to want to lightly turn it and make sure that that little thing is flipped up so it's opened. Yeah, grab this with our tweezers and kind of just flip this upside down the best you can. Try not to get frustrated with it, because if you get frustrated and accidentally break something, That's never fun. But yeah, get that lined up. Kind of wiggle it into place. I'll be back once I have this installed. It kind of takes a couple tries, but yeah. All right, so I got this little guy installed, so I'm gonna flip the lock down on it, and now we have this one right here, which I will take and just try to line this up. Definitely can be tricky to line this up here. All right, finally got that one lined up, so now I'm just gonna flip the lock down my fingernail. And lastly is this one, and this one is surprisingly easier than the thumbstick one. I think the thumbstick one is harder because it bends, even though this one is a lot tinier. But yeah, we just line this little guy up like that, and boom, it's in place. And the tiniest one is surprisingly the easiest one, and I don't know why. But yeah, now if your buttons have fallen out, you can line these back up like so. Make sure they kind of line up in place. Get this one in. It's kind of tricky to get them in sometimes, but there we go. So now we have to get the little ribbon cable for the back on. So I'll go ahead and get that started. Now this one is kind of a pain as well, but definitely take your time doing this. I'm gonna go ahead and get this connected real quick, and I will be back. Hey guys, so this is Hayden from the future. My camera stopped recording my audio for a second, but it's because I had my microphone off. But essentially what I'm doing here is just putting the Vita back together and snapping it in place. I installed the little ribbon cable and just closed up the Vita, and then I start screwing in the screws on the back, and basically just putting everything back together. So I'm gonna go ahead and speed these sections up as you're seeing on here, and then add this audio in. But yeah, just wanted to let you know that that's why there's no audio, but it's just basically putting it back together, and that is all. Alright guys, I just realized that my mic was off this whole time, but yeah, I did the little power connector thing and just re-screwed everything in, and now it is back up and working. So we're gonna go ahead and launch a game. Let's just go for Call of Duty and start it and wait for this to load. Alright guys, so now that Call of Duty is launched, you can see the thumbstick works fine. There's no more drift, as you can see. If I move one way, it doesn't get stuck moving that way. So the controller drift is fixed after we got it replaced. But yeah, that's how to replace your thumbsticks on your PS Vita. Really helpful, especially if you want to keep these working down the long run. But yeah, other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. If this video was helpful or you enjoyed it, please consider leaving a like and commenting or subscribing. It really means a lot, and I really appreciate it, and it motivates me to get more videos out to you guys. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.